in the New York Herald, November 26th, year 1911, there's an account of the hanging of three men. They died for the murder of Sir Edmund William Godfrey, husband, father, pharmacist, all round a gentleman resident of Greenberry Hill, London. He was murdered by three vagrants whose motive was simple robbery. They are identified as Joseph Green, Stanley Berry, and Daniel Hill. Green, Berry, Hill. And I would like to think that this was only a matter of chance. Now, as reported in the Reno Gazette in June of 1983, there's a story of a fire, the water it took to contain that fire, and a scuba diver named Delmar Darien, employee of the Nugget Hotel and Casino, Reno, Nevada, engaged as a blackjack dealer, well-liked and well-regarded as a physical, recreational sporting type. Delmar's true passion was for the lake, and as reported by the coroner, Delmar died of a heart attack somewhere between the lake and the trees. A most curious side note is the suicide the next day of Craig Hansen, volunteer firefighter, strange father of four, and a poor tendency to drink. Mr. Hansen was the pilot of the plane that quite accidentally lifted Delmar Darien out of the water. Added to this, Mr. Hansen's tortured life met before with Delmar Darien, just 2 nights previous. The weight of the guilt and the measure of coincidence was so large, Craig Hansen took his own life. And I'm trying to think this was only a matter of chance. A tale told at a 1961 awards dinner for the American Association of Forensic Science by Dr. Donald Harper, president of the association, began with a simple suicide attempt. A 17-year-old Sidney Behringer in the city of Los Angeles on March 23rd, 1958. The coroner ruled that the unsuccessful suicide had suddenly become a successful homicide. To explain this, the suicide was confirmed by a note in the right hip pocket of Sidney Behringer. At the same time, a young Sidney stood on the ledge of a 9-story building, and argument swelled 3 stories below. The neighbors heard, as they usually did, the arguing of the tenants, and it was not uncommon for them to threaten each other with a shotgun or one of the many handguns kept in the house. And when the shotgun accidentally went off, Sidney just happened to pass. Added to this, the 2 tenants turned out to be Faye and Arthur Behringer, Sidney's mother and father. When confronted with the charge, which took some figuring out for the officers on the scene of the crime, Faye Behringer swore she did not know the gun was loaded. A young boy who lived in the building, sometimes a visitor and friend to Sidney Behringer, said that he had seen 6 days prior the loading of the shotgun. It seems that all the arguing and the fighting and all the violence was too much for Sidney Behringer. And knowing his mother and father's tendency to fight, he decided to do something. Sidney Behringer jumps from the 9th floor rooftop. His parents argue 3 stories below. Her accidental shotgun blast hits Sidney in the stomach as he passes the arguing 6th floor window. He's killed instantly, but continues to fall, only to find 5 stories below a safety net installed 3 days prior for a set of window washers that would have broken his fall and saved his life, if not for the hole in his stomach. So Faye Behringer was charged with the murder of her son, and Sidney Behringer was noted as an accomplice in his own death. And it is in the humble opinion of this narrator that this is not just something that happened. This cannot be one of those things. This, please, cannot be that. And for what I would like to say, I can't. This was not just a matter of chance. These strange things happen all the time.